myself so good. I yelled, I love you. I sparkle in the sunlight. The big dogs come out at night. I'm locked and loaded, waiting, ready for a fight. So don't talk about me like I'm not here. Once in a while I disappear. Took me so long to get my feet off the ground. Listen or don't. Ever since I was young I knew I would be someone. Isn't it funny? Someone tried to take my fire. I drank down every bottle. I tried to keep my mouth shut, but a party's not a party till I spill my guts. So don't talk about me like I'm not here. Once in a while I disappear. Took me so long to get my feet off the ground. Listen or don't wanna hear that sound. Ooh, it didn't have to be this way. 'Cause if it's a competition, I'll win every time. So don't talk about me like I'm not here. Once in a while I disappear. Took me so long to get my feet off the ground. Listen or don't, you're gonna hear that sound.
Welcome to Audio Carnage Podcast. We're here with Junie. Thanks for the session.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
So, what brought you to Denver?
Well, I actually am from like the Fort Worth area, which is where I'm like living now, and I'm actually like coming out of Fort Worth, technically. But my sister went to UNT, and she asked me to be her roommate like a couple of years ago, and I just kind of wanted to get out of my parents' house because I just turned 18. So I moved up here with her, and I was her roommate for a little bit, and then made friends and got involved in music as people do. So.
No, this town is very ripe for that.
Yes, exactly.
What does the name Junie mean?
I don't have like a fantastic answer. I came up with it when I was in high school, and it kind of, I don't know, it stuck. When I was trying to make music now, I kept trying to come up with other stuff, so I was like, I don't know, and then like nothing else would really fit. But I think like it's just, June is my favorite month. My birthday is like at the very, very end of May, so I like summer. And
Why'd you just summer?
Just summer.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know, a lot of things, and it's also very like bright and happy, and I don't know, it's just like
in Texas, June is like you might get that perfect weather, you might be blistering hot. So I do get it. So what was the first instrument you ever played?
First instrument was piano. I do keys and stuff now for a lot of my own stuff, but we had a piano in the house, and I would do everything is self-taught, so I didn't really have lessons or anything.
When did you start getting the interest and start teaching yourself?
Probably when I was around, pretty young, probably around like 7 or 8, something like that. And I would like listen to music on like my iPod, like piano songs, and just like learn it by ear.
Okay,
and just like sing along. So that was kind of my like introduction. Then I started writing. Probably around the same age, maybe even younger. Probably I could.
So you kind of took to the actual composing while you were learning.
Yeah.
I
would be like, okay.
Well, like his composition skill in itself, like taking the time to learn how to like teach yourself is one thing, and then teaching yourself how to actually write is a whole other thing. So, but you did it like in tandem.
Yeah, I would say. It's kind of hard to remember, honestly, because I was so young. But I do remember, like, I think I actually probably started writing first, like, if that makes sense,
What
as far as, like, So now I'm
Do you play any
amateur
other-
on a guitar and piano.
Okay.
So yeah, those are my main two.
Any preferred guitar brand?
Guitar brand,
Yeah.
God, I don't even know,
Fair
honestly.
enough.
I was like, I need to start out, when I bought my first guitar, I was like, I need to start playing, like, because I can sing. I don't know, I really consider myself, like, a singer and a songwriter, and then I think instruments are kind of, like, second to everything after that.
It's a tool for the...
Yeah,
for
but
the
I'm
craft.
definitely getting better, like, as far as, like, I'm definitely feeling a lot of growth now that I've started, like, actively doing stuff and writing, because I'll be like, okay,
That's
well,
what
but
the
I really
singing
want to
is.
do this, you know, so it's like, so I'll probably get there. I mean, ask me in a year or two what my favorite brand is, and I'll probably have one.
So, do you have any favorite books?
Favorite books?
Books,
yeah.
movies, like any form. What kind of culture do you like to consume? Like, are you a movie person? You a TV person? Book person? Like?
Yeah, I have a kind of low attention span, so I really, if I get into a book, I really like doing it, and I really like reading.
What was your favorite book from
I
like younger years?
From younger years, let's see. Well, I mean, when I was really little, like, I read all the Harry Potter books. I'm one of those people.
Classic series.
And then probably, like, in high school, whenever we read A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway, that's one of my favorite books of all time still to this day. And also White Oleander. That's, like, my favorite book. Those are my two top ones.
So, alright, you said you're originally from Fort Worth. Is that like are you from one of like the subsects of Fort Worth, or are you like hard Fort Worth?
No,
Which
yeah,
one?
I'm from like mid-cities area, so I'm actually from Bedford, Texas.
Oh, yeah, I know
So
Bedford.
yeah, like that northern
I'm
Fort Worth.
Gainesville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did Junie form in the form that you are currently like running with? Like what like version of this aspect of songs and things? Like when did this kind of thing form?
So back like summer 2018, I was hanging out. Oh, that was time of my life. That's when I was hanging out with Fox Love a lot. Yeah, Famine, everything like that. And
back when Jago was Jago.
Yeah. Well, damn, it's crazy how much time has gone by, and I'm like, ugh. But yeah, I started doing. I hung out with Fox Love a lot, and they were actually
one of the first bands I ever did anything filming with.
Yeah.
And that was in this room instead of like we moved in there as you've seen, but like it was originally in this room because I was like, oh, I can black it out. Maybe I can do more with lights versus I can operate the room.
Yeah.
But so how did you meet everybody from the area? Like what was the first introduction? Like I met Dylan. Nick's one of the people that solidified me and Dylan knowing each other. I taught Nick how to play guitar years ago. But how'd you get involved in this scene? So you're from Fort Worth.
I'm from Fort Worth. I went to high school with one of the guys, Drew, actually, who used to live at the Foxhole. So he just invited me to like a house show, and I was like, "What? You guys like play music in your house? That's really weird."
It's like, well, this is a weird spot. Like the fact that that's common is like, oh yeah, we have concerts.
Yeah, it's a house show.
That's just one
like,
band, like 5, 10.
I remember like telling my sister, I was like, they play like concert, and she went to UNT, so she's like, a house show. You're going to a house show. I'm like, it's really crazy. But so I went to that, and then I met that's where I met Charlie actually, and Maria.
Tuckness?
Yes, Charlie Tuckness, and she's like my best friend. We talk every day, like still. So.
She's a great violinist, great vocalist. Like she the session that they did on the roof of Fannin House, like there was a moment whenever like the band like kind of. Quieted down and let her ring out.
Yeah,
it was just you could hear her and you could hear the echo of like the emptiness that is around Fannin House. Oh, beautiful moment.
Yeah, she's great. We actually jammed the other day where she's gonna play violin. I think on the next stuff I'm working on.
I was happy to find out she's staying in this area, correct?
Yeah.
She's in Dallas.
She's
right?
in Dallas. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a moment she was gonna be moving.
She went to New York for like a few weeks.
Yes.
Anyway,
we're getting off. This is about you.
This is about Charlie.
No, the one thing I do like about this podcast is the opportunity to shout out all the badass musicians. Because the goal is make it where this is just lives on the internet till we die. So, all right, do you have a dream venue
A dream venue.
Yeah, the venue that you're like, ooh, if I could play at that place.
Does fucking Tiny Desk count?
Yes. I mean, technically.
Honestly, that's like my end goal. I just
got a little bit of inspiration from Tiny Desk for this shit.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I always like imagine myself when I'm sitting down doing anything. I'm like, yeah, I'm at Tiny Desk right now. Honestly, I mean, that's my real answer. I mean, I guess like, yeah, I don't know. I think that would be cool. I honestly like. I'm gonna say.
All right, let's say that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Let's say hypothetically.
Okay.
We'll keep that in the bracket. But do you have any actual like big venue that you would like?
Like if I'm dreaming really
big. Really big.
I mean,
like you're talking a huge crowd. Like
yeah.
I would love to play a packed Super Pages. It's not Super Pages anymore. It's like Jexa or whatever. But like
packed Jexa. Yeah, I was gonna go for Madison Square Garden.
Well, no, see that'd be a great one. The reason I go Jexa is because that's where like I saw so many of the bands that I fell in love with. I was like, that's really a personal.
Honestly, I really like my favorite venues have been like around Dallas of like the really small. Like my first concert ever was Lord at what is it called? It's a hall in Dallas, and now I'm blanking on the name because we're on camera.
What year?
2013 or 14? 2014.
Who was she playing with? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. No,
honestly. Fair enough.
But something like like Bomb Factory and stuff like that. Right. It's that type of.
So good segue.
Place.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
The best one, honestly, I would say Lord, my first one. That was
hold on. You mean let me clarify. You mean Randy Marsh, right?
Excuse me.
Episode of South Park.
Like, okay.
Randy Marsh is like impersonating his
Now
Lord.
you're gonna make me like fucking dumb. I really want South Park.
Hold on. First of all,
how she's lame.
Does watching South Park equivalent with being dumb?
No, the truth is I'm smarter than everyone who got that reference. But I would say Mitski. That's the best concert.
All right. So what's your personal influences? What's some of the
personal influences? Yeah. I would say like a lot of like just women. Singer-songwriters, especially like in indie, that's like it's blowing up right now. So Mitski is definitely a big one because she has so many. She's a vocalist and a writer, so like that's very big for me. And then Wise Blood I've been really into, like Snail Mail as well. Just a lot of the like female indie artists that are kind of big right now. I would say like when I was younger, like Rachel Yamagata too. She's like a really low key. Like it's always like piano and that's a lot of the stuff I listened to. Like I didn't listen to anything with like drums or anything until I was probably like in like high school. So and I got really into brand new. So it all just kind of.
I mean that happens.
Yeah.
That's a good look into the musical past though.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite local venue? So let's exclude. So we're gonna remove Fannin House from the.
Okay, no, that's
because I think it's safe to say that we both have a personal spot for Dylan in our hearts.
Oh, yes.
That place is some place that's gonna go down legend at some point. Mm-hmm. So let's remove that one out of it. But what's your favorite like local venue? It could be one of the actual venues, or like another house venue, or one of the smaller spots in like Denton. Mm-hmm. Like just what's your favorite place to play that you have done recently?
Yeah, well my very first show I was alone with a looper pedal and I was at Harvest House.
That's a fucking good show to play.
Yeah, it was my very first show.
It was a really good show to play alone.
Yeah, I was like scared to death. I would wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I'm doing this alone with a looper pedal. I've never done a show before. But honestly, like the people there were super nice because I was like, yeah, it's my first show.
No, that's a great crowd. Because everybody who goes there is like, oh, there's a band. Awesome.
Yeah.
Does not matter what it is. They are engaged.
Oh, and I opened for Kyoto Lo-Fi and Need Motor Scooter. So it was like it was a really good lineup. Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking... What are you doing? That's a badass line. Hey, lay down. Yeah, good boy. Lay down.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Thank you.
So what other jobs have you had other than being a musician?
Oh, other jobs? Well,
yeah,
I also work at Starbucks.
I have a lot of other jobs other than that shit. Like I've done a bunch of that. So So Starbucks. What else?
Let's see. So my very first job was Old Navy. I worked in retail. And then I worked at like an Ann Taylor loft. So it was like high-end women's clothing. That was my first like management experience. So, and then I was a server. I worked at Movie Tavern. And that's actually where I met Carter. That's where I met guitarist. We worked together.
I worked at Movie Tavern.
Everyone's worked at Movie Tavern. So has Jerry. So has Hazel's sister.
That's not is that Carter? The one that performed there? Okay, so we must have all worked at a separate time.
Oh, yeah, we
But
did.
there's a Carter that works there, still works there.
Yeah, the manager?
Yeah. Well, I was about to be like, wait a second, I know that guy. No.
Yeah.
First time meeting those boys. Now you have assembled a crack fucking team for
Yeah,
you.
I freaking have. I don't know how I got lucky.
You have some talented musicians with you. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
now, that's also a blessing of Denton. I gotta say.
It is, yeah.
Like, it just Denton in general has a fucking wonderful
And then he
selection.
wasn't here today, but we're gonna have Sam Farr join us, so I kind of feel like I have a bunch of elites. I'm like,
No,
not that Andrew's not. I love you, Andrew, but just like Sam was like, he's crazy good. So
no, each member like has their own unique style, and that's the best part. Like, and also like they all understand that, like, let's be honest. So this is gonna come off insulting immediately.
Oh great, thank you. I'm gonna look right at the camera.
Not towards you.
Oh okay, towards them.
Musicians in Denton.
Oh okay.
Are whores.
Whores?
Whores, meaning
Okay,
they play any stage they can.
Oh yeah.
They are everywhere.
Yeah.
But like, think about every member that you know, or any band that you know. How many bands are they in?
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah.
my band's currently going through an issue of finding a guitarist and vocalist. # bring Krishna back. You don't understand that, but it's okay.
I just looked at this
but there's a abundance of so many talented people in this area, but every single one of them's stretched to the brim.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that's how you get paid. That's how you eat in this field.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have a preference on? Do you rather write something out solo by yourself in the studio, like you just alone, just write it all out, or do you rather have the musicians with you and kind of write it in the room?
I write everything alone, and that's kind of why it's stuck to like Junie. Like it's like, you know, I take basically most of the credit because I'll give them everything that I've written and then kind of tell them what I want them to play and tweak things as they go.
Show them what you got and then let them play.
Yeah.
And then once they play, it's like, all right, well,
and then
perfect.
I tweak there. Yeah. I'm like, you know, like the little what's that Fantasia?
No, I fully understandable. What's your process? Do you have a basic? Do you rather just sit alone, you in the dark playing piano? Do you like to play on the computer, or?
I'm definitely instrumental. Like whenever I write, so everything I write is on like real, like either the real piano or just like on the guitar. And really, I would say like the only thing that I think is consistent through everything that I write is like emotion. So I kind of just wait until I'm like having like No Man's Dog, the album. I have this kind of like funny little thing where like I came home, I had this whole traumatic experience happen or whatever, and I like came home and I drank all this cold brew because I work at Starbucks, and I was like laying on the floor having like the caffeine breakdown, and I like just, you know, like barfed everything out.
No,
caffeine, not literally, but
caffeine's fucking intense.
I always say like caffeine writes all of my health.
Yeah, no, taking too much caffeine is a bad experience.
It is, honestly. I'm really caffeine sensitive too, so. But I would say like the only thing that's really consistent is emotion. So sometimes like I'll come up with a melody and then I'll figure out like the melody on the keys, or I'll start playing something on keys and it sounds right and I'll get really into it and like whatever lyrics flow, or I'll write like a poem and then I'll like try to figure out like what sounds. So it's really inconsistent, honestly. I think the only thing that's consistent is it's always my emotional experiences every time. So.
Do you have any do you have any favorite venues outside of Denton? Like, do you have any like gate venues that you like love to play other than like the Denton centric area? I
haven't played anything outside of Denton yet, so
hurry the fuck up.
Know. Yeah, I know. We're trying to go on tour in August.
Hold on,
so.
This is next time on the new Carnage podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this in a couple years and be like laughing.
All right, so what was the first album you remember listening to on like repeat? Like what's the first one that's like, oh no, again?
Yeah, the first one
actually, hold on, we're gonna come right back to that. Right back. So what song was the first one we started with?
That was Listener Don't.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Nope. There we go.
All right.
Okay.
Dope.
So that was
Listener Don't.
Now, what are we going into?
And now we're going into Stockholm Syndrome.
All right, Stockholm Syndrome. We will be back.
I will always love you.
That song was
Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the question we asked right before we left was, what album do you listen to on repeat? And you said you had a good answer. So
Yeah, well, the one that I first did, right? The very first one. So I just remember really specifically being like literally 9 or 10, and I have 3 older sisters, so one of them's like 12 years older than me, and I stole her Regina Spektor Begin to Hope album, and I would like listen to it on my like CD player in my room like every day, like on repeat, like over and over, and then it would end and I would just listen to it again. I was like obsessed with that album.
Did you ever have any cassettes or were CDs the first step?
Yeah, CDs was the first step.
Showing my age.
I'm very young.
Alright, so a question that a couple of my friends have brought up, a good question for the venues or for the artists. How do you get to gigs?
How do I get to gigs?
Yeah, do you drive yourself? Do you have? Because I have friends who help save many miles. But so what's your what musicians in the area that you admire? Like, what's some ones that like? What's the people that we know, like, kind of thing that you like?
Honestly, I mean, like, I'm gonna sound cheesy because he's like my best friend in the whole world, but gorgeous hair. I mean, Jerry is my ride or die. We have matching tattoos, but I just love. I feel like
Jerry's
he's grown so much,
fellow.
and he's grown so much, like just musically and everything like that. Like, I feel like when I see him, everything is so like good and pristine now, and also he just like really doesn't care, and I just like I just. Ugh,
no, that
I love it.
Does not.
I love it because I feel like we're surrounded by a lot of like.
Jerry is a fucking individual.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, like I've never met another person like Jerry, and I love it.
Yeah, same. He's my best friend.
Gorgeous Hair was one of the first bands. Whenever I was like talking about the idea of this, they're like, "Oh yeah, let's do this until we fuck up." Like, honestly, before we actually got what we have currently, they came and filmed like 3 different times while I was just like. All right, how do I do this? What do I have to do? How do I handle all this shit kind of thing? And if it wasn't for them, I would not be as proficient as I am, and I still have, like, I'm constantly like, fuck, I need more help. But, all right, so, do you have any family members who, like, helped push you towards this musician lifestyle?
Yeah.
Or family members who play instruments that inspired you?
Yeah, my oldest sister actually has her PhD in opera, so she's a
God
opera
damn.
singer. Yeah. And then I would say, like, as far as people who pushed me, my dad was always very, you can do this. Like, he was always like, I think you could, like, do this professionally. And was always, like, really instilling that in me and, you know, like, making me do stuff and all, like, you know, he was at every choir concert, every talent show and stuff like that. And always just,
when
like...
did you start choir?
When I was in, like, 5th or 6th grade.
Okay.
So... Yeah, all the way through end of high school. So.
Anybody else that like really hit home? Let's say outside of family.
Outside of family,
I mean,
maybe not.
you already have a good like back like.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
honestly, people that I went to high school with in junior high, like one thing that I feel like is very like encouraging to me and almost makes me feel like I really didn't have a lot of people telling me that I couldn't do it. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I had a lot of people be like, I think if anyone's gonna, like, you know, make it or something, like, it's gonna be you. And I think that was really encouraging. Or just even people telling me, like, you know, this inspires me or this makes me feel something. Even when my recordings were just, like, my phone on my piano on, like, SoundCloud back in, like, you know, middle school. Like, that's really where I started making music, like, for other people to listen to. So, I mean, there's been so many people along the way, like, countless people who've supported me, and it's crazy.
What's your favorite of your own songs?
My favorite? Honestly, I was telling Justin, I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to beat Listen or Don't. That song is so good.
That is a pretty solid song.
It's so good. And especially compared to, I feel like most things I write are so slow.
Out of all 3 songs I heard tonight, I don't necessarily agree if it's contextually your best.
Yeah?
I can't remember all the song names, but like Listen or Don't, I remember because, you know, we had to
say it.
It was one of the soundtracks also.
Oh yeah.
Like it allowed me to be. Oh yes. But like y'all have a very indescribable sound, and that's good. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, oh shit. Oh okay. So what's your favorite way to hype the crowd?
My favorite way to hype the crowd? That's a great question. I feel like just talking about stuff at the beginning, like as far as like personal experience.
So you like talking on mic before songs?
Yeah, and like which is
none of my vocalists
really
have ever been good at like
talking.
Well, yeah, just
I was really
hey guys,
bad at
what's
first.
up?
I was really bad at first, but now it's kind of like I'm kind of just like whatever energy I'm gonna give off, like whether people respond or don't. But it usually goes pretty well. But like I guess for a small like example, like because I know that probably sounds weird. The third song on the album is called "You're Ugly," and it's just like this big like hate song, and it's just like it's mean, but it's funny as fuck. And so I'm always like, how many women out there have ever had their heart broken? And everyone's like, and I'm like, by someone ugly. And then it's like at that point everyone's into it because they're like, oh, she's about to talk about someone ugly. Like everyone who's broken your heart, you just want to call them ugly. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. So it's just like, it's just fun. Like stuff like that. I think it's just like it's fun.
What's the favorite show that y'all played? Like, what's your favorite one that you've done? Like, what's been your moment?
I'm gonna say Harvest House. I mean, it was first. Yeah, it was my very first show. It went really well. I practiced every single day for a month with the looper pedal because I didn't have a band. So I was like, I have to do this alone, and I have to figure it out and figure out how to sound good, or I'm just gonna look stupid. So I figured out how to do it good. But that was, the energy was good. I was like so prepared. All my friends were there to like watch, and it was just like, it was just very like easy. Like it was very happy and fun.
That's a wonderful fucking venue to be able to have that experience.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite alcohol?
My favorite alcohol? Yeah. I mean, back in the day.
I know you're not drinking.
Whiskey.
Currently.
Yeah, I don't really drink. Well, I just have like a fucked up stomach, so that's really most of it. But whiskey used to be my drink of choice. I could drink that like water. Back in the day, which
whiskey.
Back in the day,
I like whiskey
right now.
because you know where you're at with it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like if you take a shot of whiskey, it's like, oh.
There it is.
Yep, no, I'm here.
Exactly. Everything else, I don't know. I just like, I honestly, I think that I like whiskey the most because I started drinking whenever I was hanging out with Dylan and everyone, and Dylan always has whiskey. So it reminds me of good times. It's fine.
How did you meet the band that you're currently in?
So Carter and I worked together at Movie Tavern, as I had mentioned, and I had released a couple of things like solo just on Bandcamp, just that I recorded on GarageBand with my little USB mic. And
what kind of a USB mic?
It's a Rode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But he messaged me and was like, hey, because he actually has started like a little label. So it's Squarehead Records, and okay, there it is. And he messaged me and was like, hey, I'm gonna start this little label, like, do you want to do more Junie stuff on it? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, but I do stuff by myself, so I don't know, blah blah blah. And he was like, well, me and Justin will be over to learn the songs like next Tuesday. And I was like, okay. So that's kind of it. Just like, and it worked so perfectly. Like Carter is very much like, my other half in a lot of ways, like musically. He just like understands everything that I'm on. So
do you have any like good gig stories, like any like oh shit moments like that you had to deal with like while you're about to play or anything like that? Like any good oh shit moments?
It's not a good oh shit moment, but I guess like our last one at Killers, because the Patrick from Fox Love, he actually recorded.
Oh, fucking Patrick's so good.
Patrick. He recorded.
He's also another one of those drummers I could just fill. I can throw him in any situation and he's fine.
He'd be great. I totally agree.
Any situation, no matter what, it's just like, oh yeah, you need a drummer.
He's amazing.
Patrick.
He's freaking amazing, and he did that for the album. He drummed on my album. And he was my drummer, but he just got a new job, and so he's really busy, and he's helping a lot of people record.
So he's no longer working at Pizza Style?
No, he's not.
He's
got
working?
a Marley board now. So
I'm so happy for him.
I know, right? But he's really busy, so he can't do like gigs and stuff. He just wanted to help out with recording, which we knew going into it and everything. And so for our last show, I was like, okay, well, we need to find a drummer, but I had knee surgery, so I was like, I don't know who to practice with. Anyway, so we used a drum track, and I was kind of like. That was it though, but like it was a drum track and everyone
else was like... That can work perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, the goal of... So, like, making music and listening to music is one process. But the concept of, like, there's a reason that bands get paid so much to play a large venue.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole other aspect. And, like, using digital things, the means that we have nowadays to make songs and shit is there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Now the downside is like some of my songs or some of the songs that my band has performed would have never been the songs that they were if it wasn't for the input of the drummer. That
1000%. That is so true.
My drummer Joe just there's so many songs that he was like adamantly like, no, let's do this. And then
Patrick did our whole ending for Stockholm Syndrome. Like that's all Patrick. Like and so that's a lot of it too. Especially because like you have me live, but you also have like a live guitarist and you have a live bass. So it's not like all on a track. It's just like the drums. So I don't know. We kind of thought it was going to be an oh shit moment. We were like, it's this or nothing, but it actually turned out fine. I haven't done a whole lot of gigs, so honestly I don't really have a lot of like stories, but
so what's the worst gig that you played?
The worst? Oh my god, we did this it was after the Harvest House show. I did a thing at G's Playhouse. It's like a little
I know G's Playhouse. That's Sergeant Garcia.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember his staff sergeant. Him and his band Never Ceases on the books in the near future. They play with Lament all the time. He's a very talented guy. That being said, sorry that I got fucked up in my truck rather than having y'all's Nobu show. Sorry guys.
Right.
Nothing
better than you, but I didn't practice. I did not. Okay, so the Harvest, it was like exactly a month after the Harvest House thing, and I was moving, and so I was like, I'll probably be fine. I'll just run through it before. Oh my god, shit was so bad. Like I missed every chord, everything. I was like, these people think I can't do anything. I can't do anything.
So, what's your favorite like bigger musicians? Like, what's your favorite like top artist that you really admire?
Kanye West.
Why?
Oh my god, I'm like.
Just give me a little break.
First of all, he's a genius. But
why? That's not. Why is he a genius?
No, I am. I am. But Okay, so first of all, you're gonna hate me for this, and that's fine. But he's a fellow Gemini, and I have to support. And he is very. It's fine. I gave the warning. So
what if you're on Mars? What about
if I'm on Mars?
Yeah.
What do you mean if I'm on Mars?
Okay, constellations don't exist in the same patterns.
Well, then we're on Mars. I don't know. We're probably still the same something. We're not on Mars right now, are we? So, but I feel like everything he does is really like. I don't agree with like.
I'm sorry, I just had to make that stance.
Yeah. But I don't agree with everything that obviously Kanye West believes in. Like I'm not I'll definitely say that to the cameras because that's important. But I will say that I feel like I just really respect how he just is so unapologetic about everything he does.
That is true. Well,
and I really
I have a lot of respect for him as a musician. Like my question started out as just oh yes, why?
Yeah. But I do.
He's very talented at a lot of things. That being said, man, brother, get some help. I don't know what the help.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but I mean, at the same time, he's doing whatever he wants, and I gotta respect.
Yeah, no,
that's
fair.
That's really my whole thing because I feel like he's one of those people where.
Any other musicians? So Kanye West. What's the top three?
Top three. Okay, all right. Top three. I'm gonna say Kanye West, FKA Twigs, FKA freaking Twigs. I love her to death. And Mitski, I guess I'll say.
Who?
Mitski. Damn, you don't even know who these people are.
No, the first and second, obviously I knew.
Okay.
Third one, I wasn't. Now,
she's a really big indie artist right now. So
I'm also very terrible about knowing songs but not knowing artists. Mm-hmm. I'm terrible.
I would be surprised if you knew a Mitski song, honestly.
Now,
just because she's a very
in my only
singer-songwriter.
I'm very good at knowing artists in the local area.
Yeah.
All right. So, what shows do you have coming up?
Coming up, I have a St. Patrick's Day festival, Denton County Brewing Company, and then I have Fuckfest. Shout out!
What night are you playing?
I'm playing Sunday night with Acid Carousel.
So, that's where?
At the Lighthouse.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I was very, very pleasantly surprised to find out that my band's playing 11 p.m. on Saturday night.
Oh, fuck yeah.
At fucking Dylan's house.
Hey.
Holding cell, limit configuration, then malconstruct right after.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
awesome.
you're
That's
going,
gonna be awesome.
hey, kick your teeth in, now break your fucking skull. I can't wait.
It's gonna be crazy.
But yes, Fuckfest will be a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's my first, I remember like last year I was like, oh my god, I wonder if I'll ever play Fuckfest.
Oh, dude, well, that's what blew me away is the fact that like our band didn't even put in for Fuckfest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like because last year whenever Dylan was booking everything, he invited me over for it's him and two other people. I can't remember the other two's names, but like
it's Justin. He's my bass player.
There's another one. That means I met
Inti.
Okay, that means I met Justin that night also.
Mm-hmm.
But the night of Fuckfest that you're first talking about, Dylan invited me over and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're just setting up for stuff. You want to come over, hang out, drink, and chill and stuff."
Mm-hmm.
And it was so weird to sit there and like my band was on the list, but we were way down here, and so I had no like hopes to be on it.
Gotcha.
But like watching them just go through and be like, "There's so many bands,
Yeah.
so many bands."
many.
It was just like, "Oh nope." And it's
Damn,
like
that's
it's
crazy.
not it's not that they didn't love the bands. It's just a matter of like 3 stages. They only have like six opportunities for each stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. I think last year they did 2 weekends, but now it's just the one. So
all right. So, do you have any shows or movies that you are like really about currently?
currently, I just watched all of Schitt's Creek.
What?
Schitt's Creek. Oh my god.
Where do you find it?
It's on Netflix.
Ah.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's like about this family, and they're super rich at the beginning, and then like they get everything taken away from them, and so they move to this town, and it's called Schitt's Creek, and the dad had like bought it as a joke, and they live in this like motel, and it's basically just them living in this like, this like really what's the word, like rural town in the middle of like nowhere after
Culture shock.
Yes, it's like big culture shock, and they're like super spoiled. They were like super rich before, so it's really funny. That is one of the like. Oh, that is one of the funniest shows. I love that show.
Alright, so before we get out of here, what popular song do you hate?
What popular song do I hate? Most of them.
Or what is your favorite song to perform?
Favorite song to perform? Okay, either or.
Either or.
Okay, I'll say favorite song to perform. I'm gonna go with Stockholm Syndrome because I don't play anything on that, so I can just get really into it. And it's the second one we did for the video, but yeah, I can just get really into it, like vocally, emotionally. Like I'll get this close to crying every time I do it. So
No, that's
I
good.
love doing it.
So, any popular songs that you hate?
Any popular? You're really stuck on that one. I don't know. I don't listen to the radio anymore because I got Bluetooth. So I'm like, I don't even know what song I would hate that's like popular.
That's fair.
A lot of Taylor Swift songs.
It was honestly
anything by Ed Sheeran, dude. Fuck that guy.
Honestly, we worked our way through the entire list. So, all right. So, Becca, where can we find you? What is your resources? Where can we find your band? How can we like? If our listeners want to listen to you, where?
If you want to, it's a big one.
They do.
I am on Spotify. I'm on Apple Music and iTunes. I am also on Bandcamp. I don't think I have anything on SoundCloud anymore. So in all of that, there's links to that all on my Instagram and Twitter, which is at Junie Unofficial. So Junie and then unofficial UN official. And everything is there. So.
What about? Is there a Facebook page?
Facebook, yeah. I think the Facebook is Junie X Music.
Twitter?
Junie Music. Yeah, Twitter is also Junie Unofficial.
Okay.
With Instagram.
So
it's
basically, you heard it here.
I don't know if you want to follow me on Twitter though. That's a big warning. I should post a lot. Sorry, I cut you off. I'm annoying on Twitter.
I wouldn't know. If you haven't noticed, I'm terrible about social media.
No,
like
I'm like too good at it.
Like,
I don't like it on myself.
I see like people posting and
I make
like,
people mad. I like getting Twitter bites. So.
Well, like I see my like people I love and care about, and I'm just like, why are you saying such stupid things?
Yeah, that's good. You should stay that way. I'm not proud of how.
No. So what I do is anytime I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get into a Facebook argument.
Yeah.
I get rid of it.
Yeah.
I still have it. You'll find me. Like you'll find me.
They're on thing block, but I won't block you. Just don't come at me.
All right. So I've been Jared. She's been
Junie.
He's been Ace. Thank you.